Let's just tilt this up a little bit, just for a second, and then we'll get you down the project here in just a minute. But welcome. Glad you are here. As you are joining us, for me, be sure to give a thumbs up and share the video out if you can. And I'm going to pull this up on the computer and watch comments from there. Again, I'm Amy with Mama Bear Blue. This is Mondays with Mom, but Mom is still on vacation, enjoying some sunshine. And hopefully the internet is strong enough to keep up. I think I say that every week, but again, welcome. Okay, so this is going to be fun today. I'm excited to get to do this for you guys. This is a really fun technique that I did on a piece of furniture when I was out in San Diego at Debbie from Debbie's Design Diary at her video boot camp a couple of years ago, and I love this technique. And I did a video on it on YouTube, but it wasn't quite the step-by-step video that I wanted to do, so I'm going to do that today for you here, and then I think I'm going to edit this and also get it up on YouTube. So, and if you are watching on the replay, be sure to let me know. I have a thrifted, I believe it's a piano bench, like an older piano bench, really simple, not the kind that lifts up or anything, just the top and the bottom. So last night I got started. I painted the base one coat already. It's right here, but I took the top off because I thought it was going to be easier to do this technique for you guys if this was flat. So, the colors that I'm using on the base, well, let me back up a second. When I did this out in San Diego, it was from a cushion that I had seen while I was on vacation, and it was kind of a Moroccan boho looking cushion. It was beautiful. It had pinks and oranges and golds and some grays in it, and it was just so pretty, and I thought looked at it and thought I could recreate that look by using some JRV stencils and an IOD stamp called Bohemia. And I will as we go through this, I will be sure to tell you each of the products and the names. So if you guys are interested in all of them, good morning, Kathy and Kim, good morning. All of them are available on my website, aimeemamabearblue.com. Okay, so I was inspired by that pillow, and I had a small nightstand, which I posted a picture of. Nightstand, small chest of drawers. So on the 2 drawers only, I did this Moroccan look, and the rest was kind of a red-pink combo. With some metallic patinas, which we'll get to too. Okay, so the first step was for me to just put on a couple coats of the reds, and I didn't do like an exact blend, like an ombre or anything like that. I just dipped my brush around in Marquee. These are all DIY paint, clay base. Marquee, Carnival Red, and Kissing Booth. In just a second, I'm going to move the camera down as I start to work, and that was on a wood surface out there. This is actually vinyl, and I have not painted on vinyl before. I know it's doable for sure with DIY paint. I've seen a lot of my friends do it, and I put a coat on last night, let it dry, and it's fine. This DIY paint, it adheres to like everything. It's amazing, and I love it. So it's going to be fine, and I am going to complete painting this and dry it a little bit. Then we'll get to the next step. So starting with Marquee Carnival Red Kissing Booth, I just dipped my brush in wherever I felt like it and started laying on the paint. And this is going to need 2 coats, and I'm going to dry it in between with my heat gun, but I need to be very careful. I noticed last night when you're heat gunning vinyl, you definitely want to keep your gun pretty far away because you don't want to start to melt this stuff. You know, just far enough away that it's getting some warm air on it to help that dry. But if you have time, as always, if you have time to let this dry on its own, that's always the best practice. But we're going to speed things up for the live like we usually do. If you guys have questions as we're going along, I'm going to try to watch them on here. Sometimes I don't see all of them, but I will be sure to answer them later tonight. So, all right. Let me get the red on here, and then for the detail work, I'm going to move you guys down. So, like I said, it's not a blend, but I just dip my paint in all the different colors, the Kissing Booth, Marquee, and Carnival, and then it just kind of gives it just a, just a little bit of variation. Like I can see here's some Kissing Booth, here's some red, and it just looks really pretty. And this is going to be the background on, actually it's going to be the bottom layer, the base coat, because we're going to tape this off and paint the individual little patchwork sections. We're going to paint those, in a different color, distressed back a little bit. So you will see a little bit of this in some of the squares. But 2 coats is what I want to do. And I'm going to do my edges too. I didn't really have a piece of furniture right now that would have worked for this, so I thought this little bench has been staring at me here for a while from the thrift store. So I thought maybe we could see how this looks on top. This will be a cute little bench in an entryway or a bathroom, or even a plant stand. I think you could use this as a little plant stand. Set some plants underneath it. So what you could do is go online or on Pinterest or wherever you get your inspiration and find some fabric or a cushion or something, a pattern that you love, and take that color scheme and then work with it on your project. Kind of look at the designs in it and see if you have any stencils or stamps that might make sense to create the little look inside of each piece of patchwork. I think this is pretty good. Again, just a base coat, so it's not super important that every speck is covered, but that is basically done, and you can kind of tell it goes from reds to the pinks. Again, this is just vinyl, and DIY paint does just fine on vinyl. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for the stars. I appreciate that. Glad you joined us. Elizabeth is a friend of mine from way back. I think even elementary school, right, Elizabeth? And thank you, Joellen. All right, let's dry this a little bit with our heat gun. Again, I apologize for the noise. Don't get too close. It is vinyl if you're painting on vinyl. And go ahead and start taping off a little bit. Okay, so if you guys saw the original picture of my creation, it kind of just had some rectangles, some squares, some lines. So I just kind of start taping off however I want to. And I did get a little measuring tape out here to, the sheep have snow sticking to them. Aw, I bet that's cute. I did bring this out just to make sure I'm not super off. I think I'm fine. I pretty much eyeball and it's a little over 3. And I'm not going to lay this down, press this down super hard. Just lightly enough that I can block off what I want for my color blocks. I'm going to go with that. All right. I'm going to pull up a side-by-side for me on here just so I can again see my see some of the how I did this. Let's go long. So we're just taping off and color blocking however we'd like, whatever your inspiration picture looks like or whatever you just feel like doing. Go back and make sure you guys can see. Okay. Again, there's nothing exact about this. This is however you guys feel like you want to make your color blocks. Getting that. I think I like it like that, and then I'm going to go here. Some larger, some smaller. If you guys have questions, let me know. Okay, I'm going with that. You did a stool with this and decoupage paper. It was beautiful too. Thanks, Leanne. All right. I'm going to grab some scissors real quick. You could also do this technique. I pulled this out because this was I'd taken an IOD wood canvas board and these little candlesticks that I found, and I made a riser, and it was cute, but this just did not sell. So I'm going to, I think, cover this up. So you could definitely take this larger and do it in a smaller scale on tops of things like this. And this might be the one that I do the yellows and oranges on eventually. I want to show you guys that. Okay, let me trim this up, and then we're going to get to painting our color blocks. Let's see here. I've already got a plate here, my big messy plate of reds we can use for touch-ups if we need it, and I'm going to need another coat on the base anyway. If you didn't see the base at the beginning, I don't know. Can you see that? This is one of the legs, but it's the same color blend that I used on this. Okay, so the colors I used, this is exactly what I did on my piece before the red piece. It is, let's see, Old School. It's a shade of gray, and Summer Crush, and the Kissing Booth. Okay, so I'm just going to put all those colors onto a plate. Summer Crush is a really pretty orange. It's kind of a warm orange. And Chalkboard, I call Old School like Chalkboard Gray. So these are going to be the colors in our color blocks. I'm going to use a different brush for each one and just get started. And this is totally random, however you want to do it. So I'm just going to dip into make sure you guys can see this okay, Old School, and start getting these painted up. I'm not going for a completely solid gray look. I don't want that. In fact, I may go in with my color, this is the IOD makes this and a bigger one in a set together. It's slipping my mind what they're called. They're not called scrapers, I don't think, but it's on my website, and these are awesome for like pulling back paint and making some texture. Set that aside because I'm going to need it when we pull this tape back. There's going to be these open sections that are going to need to be filled in. So we will do that. Let's get some Summer Crush going. I love this color. Love it. Looks like I dipped into my Old School with that underneath. Okay. Let's do one in the Kissing Booth, which is going to be really close to this color, but that's okay. See what it looks like. Oh yeah. All right. So, what do I do here? Let's, I'm going to go ahead with Orange Crush right by it, breaking my own rules and said I didn't want to do that, but I think there's going to be enough, I can do enough of a variation inside of that square, like a different stencil, different color, and we'll be fine. Oh boy, my fingernail got that. All right. So we pull this back. What we're pulling back to is that, still some wet paint under there, to the red layer. And we've got lines in between, and I'll show you how we're going to take care of those. These lines that separate our blocks, because we want our blocks to touch. The force is in. We'll watch the finish on the replay. Thanks for this. Great, Kim. Thank you for joining. Okay. Toss that over there. So this is what we've got so far, okay? But we need to make these blocks touch. So I'm just going to take, I'm going to actually sit down for this. I'm going to take our colors that we used to make these color blocks and start painting over a little bit. And our lines don't have to be super straight because we're actually going to stamp over some seams with some of the Bohemia stamp. So just do your best to get it straight, but it does, again, does not have to be perfect. So I'm just going to continue painting color blocks to touch. The Bohemia set from IOD is one of my absolute favorite sets, probably because I love the Bohemia look so much. But they've got some really thin little stamps in there that are like trim stamps, and that's what we're going to use to cover those patchwork seams. Okay. Yeah, I think we can make this work. We're good. I could try to keep attaching these, but I'm good with leaving these red open here. What do you guys think? I think it's gonna look really cool. But it does remind me of a sweater I had in like 1987. Okay. All right. So let's get this dried a little bit. Get some of these brushes out of the way for a minute. So, as I talked about, we have the Bohemia set from IOD. And I'm just going to set it on here. This is one of the trim stamps I used that's in that set. I'll be using it today. And then the thinner one as well. Look, it's got tons of metallic stained on it. It's been used, it's been well loved. I think I used some of these feathery things. And there's another trim stamp that looks like that. There's just so many cool ones in this. So I'm going to take them all out. And then just kind of look at the size of some of these color blocks and see. Let me show you the stencils real quick. So Bohemia. And then the ones I actually used out there, which I'm going to use some of those today, but since then JRV has come out with others that are really cool and would be neat on this, and I'll show you. But this was one of my favorite stencils, Folklorico, and this one I love, especially these big flowers on here. Can you guys see those? Really good. Love them. Okay, so that is definitely an option. And then out there I also used bits of the this is the Damask Tile from JRV. I know you guys probably can't see those really well, but Damask Tile, Botanical Tile has some cool looks to it, things in it. You don't have to use the whole stencil, you can use bits and pieces. Since then, I think Jamie came out with the Moroccan tiles, and honestly, I can't remember if these are still available, but that's an option too. And then this one is definitely still available. It's the one by that Mara created from Vintage Retail Therapy, created for Jamie, and it's called Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's got some really cool detail in there. So I want to use this one for sure, and I'm going to use Folklorico, and then I might add in some of these others that I showed you. Okay, so I'll set these two aside for now, as far as where things are going to fit and what do I want to do. I like that. Okay, so this is just part of the Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm going to stencil just that part. Okay, so let me get another plate going with some stencil brushes. Golden Ticket is a gold patina from DIY. If this I checked last night is almost gone, so I'm just gonna stencil straight from this. Usually I would say pour it out onto something, but I'm gonna stencil straight from this because it's almost gone. And this copper, Pennies from Heaven, I'm gonna pour a little out onto this plate. This is so pretty. Love this copper. And another thing that's come along since I was out there is the gold wax. So at the very end, whenever we get to that point, we'll probably be adding some touches of that. And I'm going to stencil the paint colors first. And then I'm going to go back over it with some patina, so some of the metallic. Again, don't worry if you overlap over into your other color block. We'll be able to mask that a little bit with those trim type strips. This is a mix again of Summer Crush and Kissing Booth. Going a little heavier on the Summer Crush. It shows up really nice on that gray. Okay, I'm going to peek at it, but I'm not going to move this. Okay, so it's really pretty, but it definitely is metallic. So I'm just going to dip my same. Do I want to do that? Nope, I'm going to keep that clean and use another stencil brush. I need a little one. Thought I have them all out. Okay. I'm going to try to keep my metallics separated. I get excited and I end up using every color in every brush. So I just peeked, I didn't shift, and I'm going right back over it with this copper. I could even go over it with a little gold if I wanted, but I'm going to check this first. Do you guys have pennies, the pennies from heaven? It's so pretty. Oh, yeah, it looks nice. Okay. All right. I like it. I don't know how it's showing up to you guys, but very pretty. All right, let's see what else we can do. Let's use the Boho stamp and Bohemia. I really like. Let's see if I can get one that's gonna. Yeah, this will be good. This part of that stamp, and we are going to use our roller from IOD, the brayer, and roll on some paint. These are my metallics. I think I want to do this one in the pink section over here. Yeah. So pink is my background, so I think I'll use some of the gray and Summer Crush. All right. I'm just going to roll into, I don't know if you guys can see me doing it, but I'm just rolling into the Summer Crush in the gray. And I want more Summer Crush than gray though. All right, let's just see what this looks like. Worst case scenario, we repaint that little square kissing booth, right? You always have a way out. So I'm just rolling on the paint. That's too gray. I'm gonna go a little more pink, a little more orange. I don't want it super gloppy because it'll take away from the detail. Okay. See how that looks. With paint, when you use them with the stamps, you aren't going to get a super crisp line like you do with the ink, and that's okay. Especially for this project. I'm going to start on this end and set it down as we always do when we stamp. We want to set it straight down and don't shift, and then kind of lightly tap with our fingers. I like to peek and make sure I'm getting a good image on there. Yep. I still want metallic on this, and I'll show you kind of how I do that with these, because it's, if you went back over this with your patina, thanks Renee, if you went back over this with your patina, you're going to have to re-stamp and hope you line up your lines. So to add the metallics to this part, I just want to dry this a little bit and then tap in with a little stencil brush. Just tap in some gold really, really lightly. Let's just dab in a little copper. This is going to be with a super, super, super dry brush, guys. Like, I'm going to offload a ton. I just want a really dry brush on this. Just for a little kind of sparkle on there. It's still drying, and I want to show you guys though, see if you guys can get an idea of kind of what it does to it. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that right. You can tell it just adds a really pretty touch to it. Okay. All right, so let's do this one and use our kissing booth and some of the metallic patina. This is a pretty one. I used this one a lot. That'll look good there. It's just going to leave a little strip here. I think this one would fill it in. Yes, it would. Okay, we're going to use 2 stamps on that one, and we're going to use Kissing Booth, and my roller's really dirty, so I think what I'll do is just use my paintbrush. I did that a lot out there when I was working on the chest project. Just use my paintbrush to paint it on, but if you have another roller, or if you have time to go clean your roller, normally that's why I would go clean that. So, alright. So over here, I'm just going to kind of brush and dab on the Kissing Booth. And then I could stamp this and then do what I did over here and just dab on the copper, but I think I'm going to actually dab it onto the stamp. Like that. And yeah, that rose gold color's coming out, even though it's copper. I'm going to pour a little bit of this copper back into the lid to use. All right, I think we're ready to stamp it. I just don't want this too gloppy. I want the detail to show, so I'm just going to hit it real easy with my paper towel. See how this goes. We are going over time today, aren't we? I really wanted to get this all stamped and stenciled to show you guys, but if you guys have to go and want to watch the replay, that's okay too. I try to keep it in an hour, but cool. Let me show you guys. Yeah, I like it. And right up against that, I'm going to, I'm not sure if you guys can see it very well because of the light, but I'm going to right up against that. I'm going to use the next thin stamp. Kissing Booth, and I want it just slightly different than this, just slightly. So I think maybe just some touches of the old school. What are you doing over there, Waylon? Buddy? What are you eating? Okay. That's cool. Okay, let's see what the gold does. We haven't used the gold yet, so let's just see that. I'm doing good. I still haven't tried this, and I love, love, love it. Yeah, Terry, you need to try it. I mean, it takes a little time, but it is not hard to do. It's just, basically you're making art with stamps and stencils and paint. All right. Let's get that in there. I love it. All right, that looks good. Let me get this with the heat gun real quick for you guys. See if it's a little easier for you to see. Terry, you have this one from me? Yeah, we were talking about how versatile it is and how much we love it. So there's that. I'm gonna just continue for a while, guys. I know I'm going over, but I'm having fun, and I so if you want to hang out with me, I'd love it. I love these color combos. The Kissing Booth, Orange Crush, and all these metallics. It's so pretty. Here we go. So, like I said, right here there's a little indentation, and it's going to fit the next part of the stamp, so I can continue like that. And okay, this takes a little bit of patience. I want to really try to get this to connect. I'm going to start just by holding this up and get that in there, and then lay it down real careful. Try to make this go straight. That's pretty good. I had more paint on this stamp this time. Okay. I like it. I'm going to continue with just this little part that's left. I'm going to get a little more Summer Crush in it this time. Okay, and I'm kind of lifting up and going just to the edge where the next color starts. I love it. It looks like old, it just looks worn, like old, I don't even know, not Egyptian, but just Moroccan, just worn Moroccan stamping. Okay, so we're left with, let's get this guy filled in. And what would be good? Oh, the feather, little feather parts. Here we go. I call them feathers, or greenery, or I don't even know what they are, but they're cute. We're gonna go. I don't think I want the ends on it. I think I just want the center parts. So I'm gonna try to just paint up that part, and we're gonna go Kissing Booth since we're going on to the gray. And let's go into the gold. So I'm going to try to hold up the ends and just get that center section in there. Need more hands. I think I laid it over just a little. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, we're getting there, getting there. Let's just go ahead and fill this guy in with the trim. A little piece of trim here. It's on red, so I'm going to use, this is a red. I'm going to use Summer Crush on top of it with a little metallic. Okay. And it's a little gloppy, just a little bit. I want the detail to show, so just gonna tap some of that off there. You know what? This is a perfect fit for this one. Let's do that and get that one done. Oh yeah, that's good. Like it. I'm going to do the same thing right down here. So as it starts to fill up, you see what gaps you're left with and just what would fit nicely in those gaps. All right. I inked up the, or I painted up the whole thing, but I really only need a little bit of it. So I'm just going to start on one end and roll, roll, roll till it reaches the end of that space. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this end of this. Actually, no. Okay. So this stamp we used on this, I didn't continue going on. I want to do that. There's some space left here, and I'm just going to line it up and finish out that pattern. Does it go like this? No, I think it goes like this. Yep. Okay, so let me just finish out that, because that's the rest of that block, and that was Orange Summer Crush and a little bit of Old School. And that's the one I pounced in the metallic too. Okay. And the colors probably aren't going to be 100% the same. That's okay. I'm going to pounce over it with some metallic and kind of make them cohesive there. This is a little darker. Okay. Let's hit that with the heat gun, get the metallic on it. We're cruising now. We don't have much left, just a few more spaces. I like that. Okay, so we have 2 little strips left in this bigger strip. Oh wow, it looking awesome. Thanks, Kelly. It's a process, but it's fun. It is a lot of fun to do. And to just find the different shapes to fit the spaces. Let's fill in some of this skinny with this little strip. I think that's the thinnest strips that come in the Bohemia. Have I not used that one yet? Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I have not used that one yet. Let's got some copper. We'll just blend it in. Okay. Yeah, let's do a double of this. I thought I'd used this one already, but I didn't, and I love it because it looks like it has little daisies in it. That stamp. Okay. So, going on gray, I'm going to stick with Kissing Booth and a touch of Orange Crush. Okay. So just wondering if you will be getting any of the new JRV stencils. Yes, Karen, I just ordered them and they are going on my website hopefully today. They should be to me within 10 days. So check tonight. Karen, check my website later this afternoon, and I'll also post on my Facebook about it, but I did order them. They're really cool. And they're probably, like I said, I'll probably have them within 10 days. So just know that if you do place an order, there might be just a little bit of a delay till I get them, but they are on their way. So I was going to go, oh no, getting ahead of myself. I'm doing a double-decker here on this. Okay, Kissing Booth, maybe just a touch of orange, and then metallic. So like I said, I won't be live next Monday because I will be out of town, but I think I will go live this week to finish this project up with you guys. So if you're up for that, watch my Facebook page, and you can always watch the replay too to see how we finish this out. And you'll want to, if you do this project, be sure to maybe have, and I didn't do this, but a warm bowl of soapy water is nice, so that when you're done with these, but you aren't quite ready to wash them up, at least they're soaking in some warm water, your stamps and your stencils. Cute. Okay, let's do that again. Because the paints come off really easy, but sometimes the metallic patinas take a little bit of work. I soak them. Sometimes I use Dawn and like a Mr. Clean sponge, just really carefully. So just know you don't want these to sit for days without being cleaned. Let's do a little more copper. Brushes as well. All right. Let's see. Thanks, Jade. It's fun to do. Just take your time and find neat shapes that fill in these color blocks that are look something like your inspiration photo or whatever you're thinking of. Okay, don't want to slip on that. Okay, it's good. One more time. Jumping around. Okay, copper, copper, copper. Got that one filled in. You see that? We're getting there. It's looking like a cushion though, isn't it? A patchwork cushion. Okay. Let's get back to this little guy here and fill him in right there. Let's go a little bit gray. After you do it and you see that it's not as metallic as you like, just use a super, super dry brush. I mean, dip into your metallics, kind of get it offloaded a bunch, and then tap it onto it to add some more of the metallic. This one was really gloppy. It's great to see your process and free flow to decide as you go on next. Yeah, Stephanie, that's pretty much how I operate. I don't have big plans, and I need to see how it goes with all my projects, really. I think probably most DIY people and artists are like that. Oh, I like that. Had a lot of copper in it. There's no right or wrong. It's what you like, the colors you like. Don't be intimidated to try it. I always tell people to start on smaller projects if they're wanting to try something new, like stamping, transfers, inlays, anything like that. Just start on something really small and get over your fear of it. And then you can move on to your bigger projects. Okay, so I'm just left with that one, guys. Let's see. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Let's see if there's... I think I'm missing one little one from the Bohemia set. I'm missing it. That's okay. It was the skinniest one. Oh, I haven't used this one yet. Let's do that. Okay. There was a really, really super skinny one in the Bohemia set, and I have misplaced it, but that's okay. We're gonna use this one. It'll be a good fit. All right. I'm gonna go on with some of the orange Crush, Summer Crush. Look at my hands. It's so messy. I'm gonna pour out a little, yeah, a little gold onto there. Golden ticket. Just a little gloppy. See where this goes. I'm going to get a little bit of overlap, but that's okay. Overlap into the other color box. So I peek at it, and if it doesn't look like it's covering like I want it to, I'm just pressing a little harder. That's good. Kind of looks like a seam, like someone sewed it there. Maybe you guys will be a lot cleaner than I am when you when you do your project. Golden ticket. All right. Almost done, guys. At least with this part. I think this is my longest live that I've done. I knew this one would take a little bit though. Okay. So now what I would do, I would look at the spots where it looks like it might need just a little bit of a seam to make it look like they were kind of sewn in. I mean, it looks good like this, but on the other project, when I did it out in San Diego, I would go just a little bit of a thin, just a little bit, and I might do it with this one. Again, you don't have to do it, it's just kind of up to you. If you want a little, be able to divide these color blocks up a little more. I'm not going to press too hard. I just want it to be like a subtle look, like that, and maybe up here around this one. And if you have the Bohemia and you have the really skinny one, it works really well. This is the one I'm talking about, and I misplaced it. But on the Bohemia, it's this one. Can you see that? That would be perfect for outlining some of these color blocks. Did I do the whole thing? I need a little more patina there. Okay. So let's get that one lightly on there. There we go. All right. You guys get the idea of that. So I may later go back in before I go live again this week to show you guys all the finish. But we've got all of our color, we've got our base coat of the blend of Marquee, Carnival Red, and Kissing Booth on the base coat, and then we taped off. And hold on a second, let me tilt you guys up so I'm actually looking at the camera. Let's see if this is a little better. and crank it up. Sorry about this, guys. All right. So what I'll do is kind of continue with putting those seams in if I want them. Yeah, I like it. That looks like a cushion, right? And then when we go live again this week, I'll show you what I did as far as sealing this and the waxes and some detail stuff. And absolutely beautiful. First time I got up in time for, oh, yay, Judy. I'm glad. Thank you, Karen. This is a fun project. So again, if you guys do this, please tag me, but watch my Facebook page, and I will announce when I'm going live again this week so we can get this finished up. I'm going to decide how my edges are going to look because I was able to wrap in some areas. See, I think I probably should. So I'm going to figure out how I'm going to, or at least get a stamped edge on there maybe. And then when we put the waxes on, you guys, this is going to pop and look really pretty, and we'll do some finished work and even see what we might want to do to the base of the stool. So, good evening, everyone. It's Amy with Mama Bear Blue. Welcome. I've never gone live on the evening before, so this is really different. I almost said good morning. So as you are popping on here, be sure to give me a thumbs up if you can and share the video out. So tonight I'm going to be finishing up the red Moroccan bench that we started during our Mondays with Mom this past Monday. And yeah, I think we'll be able to get it all finished up, and I'll get some good pictures for you guys. Several of you have already ordered products from my website, so you can complete your own. So I am excited to see those as you do that, as you do your own projects and you post them on your own pages. If you will tag me in them, I would love to see them. So Monday when I was working on these, I didn't work too much in front of you guys on the bench part. And so I'm going to do that tonight, and then also do the finished work on the cushion that I will pull up into a second. So what I did on this bottom of the bench is just go ahead and paint the base coat in the same exact colors as is on the cushion. And I'm going to go ahead and show you. And for those of you who may not have watched the live on Monday, you can watch it on the replay to get caught up. It's a long one, but you can fast forward if you need to. But throughout that live, I talk about what the different products are that I use. So you might want to watch it when you can. Thanks for sharing, Tammy. So this is the finished cushion, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what I did to finish it up. But for those of you who weren't with me on Monday, we basically used a base coat of, this is all DIY paint, we used a base coat of Marquee, Kissing Booth, and Carnival Red on the base of this vinyl piano bench. It's just a thrifted piano bench. And then also on the base of it, I did the same thing. And then from there, we taped off with tape to make these different sections, and we painted we kind of color blocked the different sections. And then inside of the sections, we used the Bohemia stamp, and my husband's down here working on a project of his own. He's squeaking the table. Okay, we used the Bohemia stamp by IOD, and from JRV, the stencils we used were for Folklorico and Bohemian Rhapsody. I think those were the only two we used on that. So yeah, those are some of my favorites. I love boho. I love lots of color, and this just turned out really, really nice. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I did to finish this up, and we're also going to do all the waxing on it tonight. All right. As you're popping on, or if you have questions, be sure to let me know as we're going along. So right now, all I've done on this is put the base coat of the Marquee Carnival Red Kissing Booth kind of combo. I didn't really do a blend. I just kind of dabbed my brush in those different colors and painted it on. And then I did clear wax this with the DIY paint clear wax. So right now it's ready for me to add my colored waxes that I want to do, which is a little bit of dark wax and a little bit of the gold wax. So next step on this that I'm going to do right now is dark wax and a little bit of gold wax while you guys are with me. And then we'll get this cushion up here and do the, do the rest of the waxes. Let me move this over. All right. So with the dark wax, I'll probably just kind of go on and sporadically and brush it on and then wipe it back. And all that does for me, and this is not a have to do, if you guys are happy with how it looks when it's just clear waxed, I think that is totally fine. maybe with a touch of gold wax because that looks cool. But I like the way that dark wax kind of grunges things up a little bit and gets down into the brush strokes and kind of makes it look just a little aged. So I'm just going to brush it on. Again, this is DIY Paints Dark Wax, and all the products are on my website. And then I just wipe back just a little, and that didn't take much wax at all. And I don't know with the light if you guys can see, but all it did is kind of grunge it up just a tad. I'll try to hold it up and show you too. You guys see the difference of a little bit of dark wax versus not any? It's pretty subtle, and if you want more, if you don't want it that subtle and you want another coat, you could definitely go back over it again and then wipe back just a bit. But again, I just wanted kind of a touch of, and it gives depth to your projects too. And when I did the one out in San Diego, when I did this small little nightstand, I definitely used some dark wax on there. So that is how I'm finishing this up, and this is an easy, quick job because there's not much surface area on this little old piano bench. It really just richens it up, this dark wax. Yeah, you always should use clear wax first. I did that, but right before I came on, I clear waxed this whole piece, because when you add your colored waxes like your dark, your black, your gold, the shipwrecked, anything like that, you're going to want to be able to control it and wipe it off, and having that barrier of the clear wax first is going to do that for you. Yes. Yeah, I'm not real patient either. Joellen. I like to rush things a lot. You know, ideally you'd let your painted piece dry a couple days and then, you know, let it cure a little before you do the rest of the work, but I like to just go ahead and push the limits of it, and it usually does just fine. Right. And as when you're painting anything with legs or anything, it's always good to turn it upside down in case you miss some spots. Is that one done out there? Nope. And then I'm going to take, did I get all the edges? I'm going to take a soft old t-shirt. I cut one up just before the live, so I'd have some fresh, clean pieces of soft t-shirts to buff this, kind of wipe this back. If you want to buff tomorrow, like the next day, if I wanted a little bit of sheen to this wax, I would just take my buffy brush and just buff it for a little bit of a shine. Hi Kathy, how are you doing? Kathy's in Baton Rouge. Is it warm down there, Kathy? Because it's freezing here. It was 17 this morning. So that's all I'm doing now. Just a quick wipe down of of the wax, just to get any of the excess off. And work it in just a little bit. I really love, like I said, how it sits down in the brush strokes and kind of gives it a little bit of depth and dimension. And then another thing to keep in mind if you guys are kind of new to using the paints and waxes is after you've painted your piece and then you go to wax it, it's going to look a little streaky and be a little scary at first, and you're going to think you've ruined it, but you haven't. It will even out over the next day or two, level out, and the color will go back to normal. It just has to take some time to dry. All right, so the dark wax is on. I got all my surfaces covered that I needed. This side needs wiped a little bit, but now we're going to move on to putting a little bit of the gold on. The golden ticket has become one of my favorite waxes. The gold, it's in a little container like this, and that's what we're going to use just on some of the edges, just to give it a little shine. I could keep going for a little while longer, but I don't want to hold up the whole live with me wiping that back. So instead of using a brush, which I have done before, I've used a little stencil brush to add detail with the gold wax. I'm just going to take a rag, the t-shirt. I can get it. What do you need? You're going to be in the video of the camera. My husband needs some supplies. Just tell me what you need, I'll get it. All right, so I'm just putting a little bit of the gold on the, kind of on the edge here. I'll show you. And then I'll hold it up and see if you guys can see it. I know in this light down here, it kind of blows things out and I can't always let you guys get a good view, but tomorrow when we can get some daylight and some good pictures, you'll see it on my page. If you guys can see the shine on it. I think you can even in the camera from down here, but just a little bit of shine. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to finish up that waxing after, and let's move on to the cushion part. So if you watched the other day where we left off, I had planned on putting a few more stamps on the seams of these color blocks so that it looks like it's kind of, so that this thin stamp kind of provides like the transition between the different color blocks. So this is one from the Bohemia stamp, and I'll hold it up for you guys to see. I completed that this afternoon. Can you guys kind of see how that's covering most of those seams now? I like that look. So that's what I did there. And then I also, if you remember, I was unsure what I wanted to do with the edges of this bench. So some of the stamps and the stencils had overlapped. So I went ahead and I just put one coat all the way around of my base coat mix of the Kissing Booth Marquee and Carnival Red. Covered up anything that had lapped over. And then I just took part of the, actually took the Bohemian Rhapsody stencil right here, and I just used part of the center and I just stenciled around this whole outer edge. So it kind of looks uniform and there's not a big break. It kind of just transitions right into the top. I like that better than it just being a flat color. Okay. I think, thank you. That's good. That's good. I just needed one for the sanding part. I had a little sanding pad. So I want to talk to you guys about, here it is. When I stenciled, after I was done stenciling, stamping, and everything, there's a few spots that were kind of raised, or I don't want to say gloppier, but a little gloppier than the rest. And so I did this on my other piece too. And I just take a sanding sponge and really, really lightly go over this whole thing. And I don't want to sand away all my detail, but I just want to knock down some of these like peaks and parts that got more paint than others, so that it's smooth and not like rough and have rough patches. All right, these little sanding sponges are handy. I got them from Amazon and just cut them up. They're just a really fine grit. So I'm just really lightly going to sand it. Now, when you do yours, if yours is smooth already, you don't have to do this part. Again, I'm just being really light. And also what that does is get some of the, just kind of evens things out and makes some of the parts a little more faded and kind of worn looking, which I like. That's probably really noisy. All right. That's pretty good. Then I'm just going to take my dry rag and wipe the dust off. Now, if you wanted to seal yours in Big Top or Liquid Patina, you could probably do that. I really, really love, there's a little crunchy part there, the way wax looks on projects. But it's kind of a personal preference. All right. What I'm going to do now is use my clear wax. If you guys have questions as we're going along, let me know. I'm going to wipe my hands off first. They're pretty dusty. The clear wax will kind of make this look, the colors in this not so chalky. And it will at first look really like dark and wet, but after a day or two, and this has time to dry, it won't look that way or streaky. So, thanks, Mom. All right, here we go. You guys will see the difference when the clear wax goes on. This is one of my favorite parts. It kind of just brings out all those vibrant colors again. And again, it will calm down a little bit. Because when you do that, it really makes all the metallics really overtake it. But I think that will calm down when this isn't so dark. But clear wax is just, I love it. And the DIY clear is just a soft, really nice, soft, buttery finish. A bit of red on here from the paint. So I just like to wipe that off with my dry rag. And then take your rag and just really lightly kind of wipe it back. So this just doesn't have a lot sitting in one spot. This is not crunchy at all. You kind of think that might happen when you paint vinyl, but it's not. Okay. You guys see that? I think that's my favorite part, the Folklorico stencil right there. Okay, do I want dark wax on the top of this? That's the big question. So when I'm unsure about something like this, I'll do a little test area down in the corner, kind of inconspicuous, and see if I'm liking the look of it before I commit to putting this on the whole thing. What do you guys think? What's your opinion on the dark wax on top? Okay, so I'm going to go down here and just try it out a little bit, and if I feel like it's covering all the pretty a little too much, I won't do it. I don't know, guys, it kind of deepens it up even more. Let's see. Another tip is, though, if I was to overdo this or decide I did not like that, I could go back over that in clear wax and wipe it back, and it would like act kind of like an eraser. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to dark wax the top. It wasn't bad, but I really just love the vibrancy of how this looks on here. But I am going to try to see what some little bit of gold wax looks like on it. Okay. Just on the edges, maybe. Adds a little more metallic to it. That's pretty. So anywhere you see like where it's dark and there wasn't, you know, you need just want to give it some sparkle or lighten it up a little bit, you could put a little bit of that and rub it in. Doesn't take much. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Thank you. Do you think it calls for black? I mean, you could if you wanted to. I did the test down here in the dark part, and I don't know. I think I just want to keep it clear with the gold and see how that goes. So, all right, one more close up here, guys, and then I'm going to set it on top of the base. See if I can give you guys a better view of it, but I won't probably attach it yet. I have the 4 screws, and that will look just like that. Yeah. So I'll get this all finished up and put back together. I'm pretty happy with it. It reminds me a lot of what I did out in San Diego. But I am excited to get to do another project where I can use a different combination of colors for this. Like blues and greens. Yeah, and then if you guys try it, let me know. I think we're okay, Rod, there. And all the products, if you guys, I've had a lot of questions this week from people on wanting to know the exact names of all the stencils and stamps. So if you have any questions, just message me. And I'll be able to give you all the info you need if you want them. I have almost everything in stock. So thank you, Beth. Thank you, Tammy. This was a fun project. I am thinking about trying to go live once or twice a month on a weekday night to do a little bit bigger projects maybe like this. If you guys are interested in that, let me know if you'd like that. But we're going to get back to Mondays with Mom. Mom's still on vacation. But she'll be back, and we'll get back to our Mondays at 9 a.m. This coming Monday, I'm actually going to be out of town, so I won't be going live this Monday, but I will the following Monday and let you guys know if there's going to be some additional lives during the month. So I really appreciate you guys' support and tuning in here. I hope you enjoy doing this project, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks. Bye.